Now that the 25th anniversary of Rat Race was over, we got more films to watch, like Mortal Kombat. It reached its 31st anniversary. Now, just a reminder, this is not to be confused with the video game Mortal Kombat, which the 1995 film was inspired by. And let's be clear, it's also not the same as the reboot film from 2021. The 5th anniversary of the reboot film from 2021 was celebrated on April 23rd, 2026.
Oh, wow! 31 years of the 1995 film known as Mortal Kombat already? Why we didn't notice?
Son, what's the film 1995 Mortal Kombat?
I'm glad you asked. The 1995 film Mortal Kombat is a 1995 American martial arts fantasy film based on the video game franchise by Ed Boon and John Tobias. It is the first installment in the Mortal Kombat film series. It was directed by Paul Anderson and stars Lyndon Ashby, Cary Hiroyuki Tagawa, Robin Shao, Bridget Wilson, Talisa Soto, and Christopher Lambert. The film follows a group of heroes who participate in the eponymous tournament to protect Earth from being conquered by malevolent forces. Its story primarily adapts the original 1992 game, while also using elements from the game Mortal Kombat 2.
Development of a Mortal Kombat film adaptation began shortly after the release of Mortal Kombat 2, when independent producer Lawrence Kasanoff acquired the rights from Midway Games. Newcomer director Anderson was hired based on the strength of his debut Shopping, with a screenplay written by Kevin Droney. Filming took place primarily in Thailand, with fight sequences supervised by Shao and Patty Johnson.
Mortal Kombat was released by New Line Cinema in the United States on August 18, 1995. It received mixed reviews from critics who praised the martial arts sequences, atmosphere, and production values, but criticized the screenplay and toned down violence from the games. Despite the mixed critical response, the film was well received by fans of the series. It was also a commercial success, grossing $122, $2 million on a $20 million budget, and becoming the highest-grossing film based on a video game at the time. The film was followed by a 1997 sequel, Mortal Kombat Annihilation, along with 2 television series. The animated sequel, Mortal Kombat Defenders of the Realm, and the live-action prequel, Mortal Kombat Conquest, 1998 to 1999. The follow-ups were unable to match the original film's success, and the series was rebooted with a 2021 film.
Petrie say movie voice actors be Lyndon Ashby as Johnny Cage, big Hollywood star who joined tournament to show world his martial arts skills real. Ashby train in karate, taekwondo, and kung fu just for this movie. Cary Hiroyuki Tagawa as Shang Tsung, strong sorcerer and tournament host. Tagawa be first and only choice for this role. He wear costume at audition and red lines on chair. Tagawa play young Shang Tsung to skip heavy makeup from first game. Robin Shou as Liu Kang, former Shaolin monk who joined tournament for Brothers' Revenge. Liu noticed Kitana like Earthrealm. Liu be main hero in games. This show's second American film, first be in 1990 TV movie Forbidden Nights. Shao also helped with fight moves. Bridget Wilson as Sonya Blade, American Special Forces officer Chase Kano after he killed partner. Wilson get nickname Robobabe from director during filming. She do all stunts herself. Talisa Soto as Kitana, Emperor's adopted daughter, who help Earth warriors. She like Liu Kang, who listened to her advice. Soto be with Tagawa in License to Kill before. Trevor Goddard as Kano, underworld crime boss, joined Shang Tsung. Goddard speak Cockney, but later games changed Kano to Australian. Christopher Lambert as Lord Raiden, Thunder God and protector of Earthrealm, guiding warriors. He want help heroes but can't fight in tournament. Only give advice and stop cheating. Sean Connery say no to the role. Chris Casamassa as Scorpion. Undead warrior under Shang Tsung. Mortal Kombat co-creator Ed Boon voiced this character. Francois Petit as Sub-Zero. Cryomancer warrior under Shang Tsung. Keith Cook as Reptile. Creature serving Shang Tsung. Cook play human reptile. Lizard be computer made. Frank Welker give reptile voice effects. Kenneth Edwards as Art Lean. Martial artist and Johnny Cage friend in tournament. Sandy Helberg as director of Cage's new movie. It was supposed to be Steven Spielberg, but he can't do it. Stephen Ho as Chan. Liu Kang's dead younger brother. Peter Jason as Master Boyd. Johnny Cage's teacher. Goro, big Mortal Kombat champ, played by Tom Woodruff Jr. and voiced by Kevin Michael Richardson, both uncredited. Gregory McKinney as Jax. Frank Welker, also uncredited. Voice Outworld Emperor and give sounds for Goro and Reptile.
Mortal Kombat is a martial arts tournament that is held once every generation between representatives of the realms of Earth and the otherworldly dimension of Outworld. If Outworld achieves 10 consecutive victories, the Outworld Emperor will invade and conquer the Earth realm. They have already won 9 times. Shaolin monk Liu Kang, movie star Johnny Cage, and Special Forces officer Sonya Blade are chosen by Raiden, the god of thunder and defender of Earthrealm, to prevent Outworld from winning their 10th straight tournament. Kang seeks revenge against the tournament host Shang Tsung for killing his brother Chan and taking his soul. Sonya is lured onto the ship headed for Shang Tsung's island by crime boss Kano, who murdered her partner. Johnny seeks to debunk media claims that his martial arts skills are faked. Tsung orders the creature Reptile to prevent Princess Kitana, the Emperor's adopted daughter, from allying with the Earth Warriors. Kang, Johnny, and Sonya advance to the final rounds of the tournament, with Sonya killing Kano, Johnny killing Scorpion, and Liu defeating Kitana, who uses their match to give him advice on how to defeat Sub-Zero, and killing Sub-Zero. One of Johnny's peers, Art Lean, is defeated by the reigning tournament champion, Prince Goro, and has his soul taken by Shang Tsung. Hoping to protect Kang and Sonya, Johnny challenges Goro. Johnny uses guile and the element of surprise to defeat Goro. Now desperate, Tsung takes Sonya hostage and takes her to Outworld. Knowing that his powers are ineffective there, Raiden sends Kang and Johnny into Outworld to rescue Sonya and challenge Tsung. In Outworld, Kang is attacked by Reptile but gains the upper hand and kills him. Kitana meets up with Johnny and Kang. She reveals to them that Outworld was a beautiful and peaceful place until the Emperor came from a third realm and brought Outworld to ruin after winning 10 consecutive Mortal Kombat tournaments there. He then adopted Kitana and took the throne for himself. Not wanting the Emperor to succeed in taking over Earthrealm, Kitana helps them infiltrate Shang Tsung's fortress, disguised in the robes of his followers. Kitana berates Tsung for his treachery to the Emperor, distracting him while Kang and Johnny free Sonya. Tsung challenges Johnny, but is counter-challenged by Kang. During the battle, Kang faces not only Shang Tsung but also the souls he took in past tournaments. Tsung morphs into Chan to confuse Kang. Accepting that he is not responsible for Chan's death allows Kang to see through the charade. Liu Kang fires a fireball at Tsung, knocking him off a landing onto a bed of spikes. Tsung's death releases all of the captive souls, including Chan's. Before ascending to the afterlife, Chan tells Kang that he will remain with him in spirit until they are reunited and tells him to go in peace. The Earth Warriors return to Earthrealm. Earthrealm has a victory celebration, where is taking place at Kang's Shaolin Temple with Raiden waiting for them. The jubilation stops when the Emperor appears and declares he has come for the heroes' souls. Raiden and the warriors take up fighting stances. Movie producer Lawrence Kasanoff visited some friends at the game's publisher, Midway Games, and played a Mortal Kombat unit that was in their offices. He saw cinematic possibilities in the concept and expressed interest in making a film based on the game, but Midway head Neil D. Nicastro disagreed that the game could be a successful film, particularly given the failure of past movie adaptations of video games. After months of negotiations, Kasanoff finally acquired a limited option on the Mortal Kombat film rights. Though several top directors submitted pitches for the film, the producer chose then-unknown director Paul Anderson after he saw a screening of his 1994 debut film, Shopping, which Larry felt showed he could take an innovative approach to the material. Anderson had no experience with visual effects, but was enthusiastic about making a Mortal Kombat film, so he read every book he could find on visual effects and, in his words, kind of bluffed my way in. Among those who auditioned for the role of Liu Kang were Jason Scott Lee, Russell Wong, Dustin Nguyen, Keith Cook, and Philip Rhee. Ernie Reyes Jr. was at one point considered for the role. A relative unknown, Robin Shou, was cast as the film's lead character. Shou was a wushu champion turned Hong Kong stuntman and actor, whose only prior credit in an American film was in the made-for-television feature Forbidden Nights. Shou, who just quit Hong Kong film industry and returned to the United States, because he thought he'd be cast as a stereotypical Asian villain. It was only after his agent told him that Liu Kang was the film's hero that he reconsidered. Sharon Stone, Christina Applegate, and Dina Meyer were originally considered for the role of Sonya Blade. Cameron Diaz was originally cast as Sonya Blade, but dropped out due to a wrist injury and was replaced by Bridget Wilson. Wilson has accepted a role in Billy Madison after being passed up in the Mortal Kombat auditions in favor of Diaz, and so had to fly out to the set the morning after her last day filming Billy Madison. For years, many fans assumed or believed that late actor Brandon Lee was originally slated to play the character of Johnny Cage. Anderson confirmed in 2015 during a Q&A with fans that Lee was never pitched an offer or heard of the project before his death in March 1993. Jean-Claude Van Damme, whose performance in Bloodsport inspired the game character, was offered the part but turned it down due to being busy filming Street Fighter, also based on a fighting video game. Coincidentally, both films were shot in Thailand. Lyndon Ashby got the role in part due to his past martial arts experiences, having trained in karate and taekwondo. Tom Cruise, Johnny Depp, and Gary Daniels were also considered for the role. The role of Raiden was first offered to Sean Connery, who turned it down because he didn't want to perform a physically demanding role. Danny Glover was also considered. Mariska Hargitay was in the running for the role of Princess Kitana before Talisa Soto was cast in the role. Cary Hiroyuki Tagawa was the filmmaker's first and only choice for the role of Shang Tsung. He came to the audition in a costume and read his lines while standing on a chair. Steve James was originally cast to play Jax, but he died from pancreatic cancer a year before production on the film began. Levin Michael Jai White was slated to replace him, but dropped out in order to star in Tyson. He would later play Jax in the web series Mortal Kombat Legacy, and filming began in August 1994 and ended in December 1994. The Outworld exterior scenes were filmed at the abandoned Kaiser Steel Mill, now the Auto Club Speedway in Fontana, California, while all of Goro's scenes were filmed in Los Angeles. Shooting locations in Thailand were accessible only by boat, so cast, crew, and equipment had to be transported on long canoe-style vessels. Location manager Jarrett Folsom constructed an outhouse in a secluded area near the set to alleviate the problem of repeated trips to and from the mainland. Filming locations in Thailand include the Wat Phra Shi Sanphet, Wat Chaiwathanaram, and Ratchabarana temples. The arrival of Earth's contestants via boats, Liu Kang's meditation scene, and the fight between Liu Kang and Kitana were filmed at the Railay Beach and the Piara Nang Beach, respectively. The film's main fight and stunt coordinator was martial artist Patty Johnson, whose previous credits had included Enter the Dragon, The Karate Kid, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Because of Robin Shou's past experiences as a Hong Kong stuntman, Johnson gave him free rein to incorporate his ideas into the choreography, and Shou would ultimately be credited as fight choreographer. Additional sequences. One of Shao's innovations was the incorporation of wire work, making Mortal Kombat one of the first Hollywood films to do so. Despite the intensity of the fight scenes, coupled with the actors performing most of their own stunts, the only notable reported injury at the time was a bruised kidney Ashby suffered while shooting Cage's fight scene with Scorpion. Scorpion's stunt double violently collided with a steel bar in the same scene, but as with most stunt person injuries, it was not widely reported in the media. Wilson dislocated her shoulder, but found she had no problems once it was put back in place and continued with the filming. 10. Robin Shou fractured 2 ribs while being thrown into a pillar in the fight scene between Liu Kang and Reptile, but kept quiet about it for fear that the production would be shut down. He told only Keith Cook, the actor who plays Reptile, asking him not to hit him on the right side of his ribcage, and finished the scene before going to the hospital. The film's score album was composed by George S. Clinton, released by Rykodisc on October 11, 1995. The film's soundtrack album was released by TVT Records on August 15, 1995. The soundtrack album went platinum in less than a year, reaching number 10 on the Billboard 200. The film was originally scheduled for a May 1995 U.S. release, but was pushed back to August. According to Kasanoff, this was because New Line Cinema's executives felt the film had the potential to be a summer hit. It was released on October 20 in the United Kingdom and on December 26 in Australia.
Mortal Kombat is a 1995 live-action adventure movie that was produced by Laurie Apelian and Lawrence Kasanoff and was directed by Paul W. S. Anderson. It is based on the video game franchise Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat was released on July 13, 1995 in Argentina and Israel, August 18, 1995 in North America, October 20th, 1995 in the United Kingdom, and on December 26, 1995 in Australia. The movie received mixed reviews with a 35% rating on Rotten Tomatoes, and Metacritic gave it a 58 out of 100. This movie stars Robin Shou as Liu Kang, Lyndon Ashby as Johnny Cage, Bridget Wilson as Sonya Blade, Christopher Lambert as Raiden, Talisa Soto as Princess Katana, Trevor Goddard as Kano, Cary Hiroyuki Tagawa as Shang Tsung, Francois Petit as Sub-Zero, Chris Casamassa as Scorpion, Keith H. Cook as Reptile, Kevin Michael Richardson as the voice of Goro, Gregory McKinney as Jax, Frank Welker as the voice of Shao Kahn, Stephen Ho as Chan Kang, Hakeem Alston as Fighting Monk, and Sandy Helberg as the director of Johnny Cage's latest movie.
Ouch. Talk about a painful injury. Anyway, Mortal Kombat opened on August 18, 1995, and was number 1 at the box office for the weekend with $23.2 million, nearly 8 times the opening amount of the only other new release that weekend, The Babysitter's Club. At the time, it was the second highest August opening after 1993's The Fugitive. The film enjoyed a 3-week stint at number 1, grossing $73 million domestically in the United States. It also earned $51.7 million in other territories, for a worldwide total of $124.7 million. The film became the highest-grossing adaptation of a video game before being surpassed by Pokémon, the first movie in 1998. On Rotten Tomatoes, 43% of 76 critics gave the film a positive review, with an average rating of 4.8 out of 10. The site's critics' consensus reads, "Despite an effective otherworldly atmosphere and appropriately cheesy visuals, Mortal Kombat suffers from its poorly constructed plot, laughable dialogue, and subpar acting." Metacritic gave the film a weighted average score of 60 out of 100, based on 13 critics, indicating mixed or average reviews. Audiences polled by CinemaScore gave the film an average grade of A- on an A+ to F scale. Reviewers praised its atmosphere, fighting sequences, production values and visuals. However, its PG-13 rating and to a lesser extent, the performances and writing were criticized. Lisa Schwarzbaum of Entertainment Weekly called Mortal Kombat a contentedly empty-headed extended advertisement for the joy of joypads, filmed in cheesily ornate cinema de Hong Kong style, and too noted how it is notably free of blood and gore. Stephen Holden of the New York Times said Mortal Kombat might be described as mythological junk food. Although there is talk of the 3 combatants having to face their deepest fears to prevail, the action is so frenetic and the dialogue so minimal that the allegory is weightless. Roger Ebert said he was right in the middle and noted that the fans might be disappointed by the film's killings being much less brutal than the notoriously violent Mortal Kombat video games. Mark Savloff from the Austin Chronicle mentioned that, "It's the cinematic equivalent of cotton candy and Rock'em Sock'em robots, but you may recall, you loved that stuff as a kid." I know I did, giving it a 2.5 out of 5 star rating. Laura Evanson from San Francisco Chronicle mentioned Mortal Kombat. The movie has everything a teenage boy could want: snakes that jut out of a villain's palms, acrobatic kung fu fighting and a couple of battling babes. Everything, that is, but an interesting plot, decent dialogue, and compelling acting, and concluded that it will likely become a cult classic. Kevin Thomas of the Los Angeles Times gave the film a glowing review, writing that as impressive as the special effects are at every turn, even more crucial is Jonathan Carlson's superb, imaginative production design, which combines Thailand exteriors with vast sets that recall the barbaric grandeur of exotic old movie palaces and campy Maria Montez epics. John R. Leonetti's glorious, shadowy camera work and George S. Clinton's driving, hard-edged score complete the task of bringing alive the perilous Outworld. Gene Siskel of the Chicago Tribune gave it a thumbs-up rating on Siskel and Ebert, calling it the only halfway decent video game turned into a movie that I've seen and a lot of fun, saying he was positively surprised by its various high-quality production values, including the often sensational special effects, the exotic locations, and the cast of characters being clearly drawn with appealing types. Leonard Clady from Variety awarded the film a 3.5 out of 5 stars, stating, "But where others have sunk in the mire of imitation, director Paul Anderson and writer Kevin Druny effect a viable balance between exquisitely choreographed action and ironic visual and verbal counterpoint." Kim Newman from Empire magazine said, "By the time the big, world-saving bout comes around, it's hard not to wish that Shang Tsung would settle the fate of mankind by asking Liu Kang what the capital of Venezuela is, rather than engaging him in yet another round of supernaturally assisted dirty fighting," with a final rating of 3 stars out of 5. A 2020 editorial that discusses the work of Paul W. S. Anderson on Rotten Tomatoes said of Mortal Kombat, critics were split at 47% on the tomatometer, but audiences loved the electronic soundtrack, creative fight scenes, and diverse cast of committed actors who sacrificed multiple bruised ribs to bless us with some excellent brawls. The editorial attributed the film's box office success chiefly to its conscious playfulness, asserting that Anderson and his talented crew knew what they were making, and they made it earnestly. Bloody Disgusting commented that thanks to the kinetic speed in which the actors are moving, the high-octane music, and ironically, the movement of the camera, each fight is given ample feeling and aggression, particularly praising the Scorpion, Johnny Cage and Liu Kang, reptile fights. In 2020, Rotten Tomatoes discussed the film in the Rotten Tomatoes is Wrong podcast series. Scott Johnson criticized the film as not being a faithful adaptation, citing, in particular, the absence of R-rated gore. Go panelist Jacqueline Coley countered that an R rating would have blocked the Mortal Kombat fan base from attending and that the adaptation successfully captures the essence of the games. Mark Ellis agreed, arguing that the film mimics the game's minimal plot by focusing on the tournament, creating an experience similar to watching March Madness. JoeBlow.com called Mortal Kombat colorful, ambitious, and surprisingly funny. Anderson tied everything around a perfect cast led by the great Robin Hsu. Screen Rant referred to the choreography as top-notch, the locations as amazing, the soundtrack as pure perfection, and the cast as dedicated and outstanding, but the CGI as cartoonish and laughable, the violence as not true to the source material, the Goro animatronic as not even that impressive by 1995 standards, and the portrayals of Scorpion and Sub-Zero as insulting and completely wasted. CBR mentioned that Mortal Kombat is an above-average martial arts classic that was high on fun and easily one of the most rewatchable video game movies, 25 years later. Bloody Disgusting said the film does an excellent job of paying tribute to its source material by including a large number of characters from the game without any of them feeling shoehorned in and by capturing the intense action feel of the game, while Collider stated that the film knows how to walk the line between reverence and goofiness. Kari Hiroki Tagawa's take on Shang Tsung is now regarded as the ideal portrayal of the sorcerer. JoeBlow.com noted that every actor who has taken the role since has been compared to Tagawa, commenting that his delivery has all the cadence and embellished style like he's on Broadway, but he holds himself physically like he's just casually laying down the law. Tagawa is Shang Tsung. 38. Screen Rant reported that while they felt all the main cast members were equally outstanding, Tagawa was the best casting of the movie to many. Christopher Lambert as Lord Raiden has also received positive coverage, with JoBlo.com commenting that he lent the production maturity and star power, while CBR mentioned that he steals every scene he appears, delivering ridiculous lines like, "The fate of billions depends upon you," before laughing and apologizing. Mortal Kombat 11 paid tribute to the first movie with numerous Easter eggs, as well as bringing back Kari Hiroki Tagawa to play Shang Tsung in the Aftermath storyline. Subsequent downloadable content would feature voices and likenesses from Christopher Lambert, Lyndon Ashby and Brett Wilson Sampras as Raiden, Johnny Cage and Sonya Blade, respectively. Mortal Kombat was released on VHS on December 27, 1995. By Turner Home Entertainment. It proved successful in the home video market, and was one of the top 25 selling videos of 1996 in the United States. The film was released on DVD on March 26, 1997, by New Line Home Video, one of the titles available on the format's US launch. It was later released on Blu-ray on April 19, 2011, by Warner Home Video. A 4K UHD Blu-ray edition, as part of the Mortal Kombat collection with Mortal Kombat Annihilation, was released by Arrow Video on June 30, 2026.
And yesterday is the 19th anniversary of Phineas and Ferb. That's right, 19 whole years since Phineas and Ferb first aired. Next year, on August 17th, 2027, we're celebrating 20 years of endless summer fun of Phineas and Ferb. It is an American animated musical comedy television series created by Dan Povenmire and Jeff Swampy Marsh for Disney Channel and Disney XD. The series originally aired on the networks for 4 seasons between 2007 and 2015, and returned for the first of 2 additional seasons in 2025. The series follows stepbrothers, Phineas Flynn and Ferb Fletcher, who construct a grand project or embark on an adventure each day to make the most of their time on summer vacation, to the annoyance of Phineas's older sister, Candace Flynn. Candace's attempts to expose their schemes to her mother always fail due to the fights between local evil scientist Dr. Heinz Doofenshmirtz and the boys' secret agent, Pet Perry the Platypus, inadvertently removing all evidence of their work. Phineas and Ferb is one of Disney Channel's most successful animated franchises. It received high viewership in the United States on cable television and influenced the development of merchandise, a live tour, spin-offs, and movies. A made-for-television film, Phineas and Ferb the Movie, Across the Second Dimension, aired in 2011, while a follow-up titled Phineas and Ferb the Movie, Candace Against the Universe, was released on Disney Plus in 2020. Phineas and Ferb the Movie, Across the Second Dimension, was released on August 5, 2011. It reached 15 years on August 5, 2026, and Phineas and Ferb the Movie, Candace Against the Universe, was released on August 28, 2020, and reached 5 years on August 28, 2025. And do you know which restaurant have ice cream others than Baskin-Robbins, our Dairy Queen? That's right, it's Cold Stone Creamery. Yummy! Cold Stone Creamery, Inc. is an American international ice cream parlor chain. Headquartered in Scottsdale, Arizona, the company is owned and operated by Kahala Brands. The company's main product is premium ice cream, made with approximately 12 to 14% butterfat, made on location and customized for patrons at time of order. Cold Stone has also expanded its menu with other ice cream-related products, including ice cream cakes, pies, cookie sandwiches, smoothies, shakes, and iced or blended coffee drinks.
The company was co-founded in 1988 by Donald and Susan Sutherland, who sought ice cream that was neither hard-packed nor soft-serve. Cold Stone Creamery opened its first store that year in Tempe, Arizona. The original Cold Stone Creamery, store number 0001, remains in operation near the same intersection at the southwest corner of McClintock and Southern in Tempe. The store moved from the original location to this location in the early 1990s. The company has maintained the same concept created by Steve Harrell, who founded Steve's Ice Cream. Patrons select a flavor of ice cream and then choose a number of mix-ins to be added to the ice cream. Mix-ins include candies, nuts, brownies, and syrups. Cold Stone derives its name from the frozen granite slab that employees use to fold mix-ins into the ice cream. In 1995, Cold Stone Creamery opened its first franchise store in Tempe, Arizona. Shortly after, a second location was opened in Camarillo, California. Cold Stone Creamery has become the 6th best-selling brand of ice cream in the U.S. In 2008, Cold Stone opened its first European franchise in Copenhagen, Denmark. 3 more stores were later opened in other parts of the country. In January 2006, the company was named the 11th fastest-growing franchise by Entrepreneur magazine. In June 2009, the company opened its first locations in Canada. As of 2012, 3 stores had opened in Singapore. In 2012, Cold Stone opened its first store in Nigeria. On January 3, 2020, Cold Stone Creamery announced that it would close its doors on January 31, 2020, in Singapore. In March 2015, Cold Stone opened its first location in Turkey's capital, Ankara. In 2015, Cold Stone Creamery opened its first location in El Salvador in Multiplaza Mall, and in April 2023, Cold Stone opened its first United Kingdom location in Charing Cross Road. In May 2007, Cold Stone Creamery merged with Kahala Corp to form Kahala Cold Stone, which collectively owns 8 brands. Doug Ducey, who had served as president and CEO of Cold Stone Creamery since 1995 and future governor of Arizona, was named CEO of the new company. Kevin Blackwell, the former CEO of Kahala, became chairman of the board and chief strategist. However, in September 2007, Ducey announced he was leaving the company. Blackwell was named CEO. In 2013, the Saruya family, based in Toronto, Ontario, purchased a majority interest in Kahala and changed the name to Kahala Brands to better align with the focus of the business. After a decade of operation, Cold Stone Creamery closed all its outlets in Singapore on January 31, 2020.
Cold Stone franchisees in New York City began partnering with Soup Kitchen International to sell soup in their stores, beginning in late 2007. In 2008, the company signed a master agreement with the Rocky Mountain Chocolate Factory to open licensed locations carrying that company's products. The parent company of Cold Stone Creamery, Kahala Brands, announced in February 2009 that it had reached an agreement with Canadian coffee shop chain Tim Hortons to open 100 co-branded stores in the United States after successfully testing 2 locations in Rhode Island. The strategic alliance was intended to pave the way for Tim Hortons to operate in more U.S. locations while allowing Cold Stone Creamery to expand into Canada. The most notable co-branded store opened in August 2009 when Tim Hortons moved into 3 Cold Stone Creamery locations in New York City, including its flagship Times Square location. In June 2009, Cold Stone Creamery started testing the Canadian market by opening 7 co-branded locations with Tim Hortons in Toronto, Oakville, Mississauga, Hamilton, Pickering, Sudbury, and Halifax, Nova Scotia. They had locations in every Canadian province except for Newfoundland and Labrador. The Tim Hortons venture followed on the footsteps of a similar co-branding efforts in 2007 and 2008, but ended in 2014.
Petrie say, Cold Stone make friends with other companies for special food things in store. First big friend was with Kraft Foods for Jell-O in 2009. Cold Stone bring new ice cream flavors like Jell-O pudding, chocolate, butterscotch, banana, and vanilla. These flavors not melt because pudding mix make ice cream gel. Petrie also say Cold Stone had Jelly Belly friendship in 2008 for jelly beans that taste like Cold Stone ice cream flavors. Somebody say Cold Stone not play fair with franchises, opened too many stores close together, and ask for too much money for fixing. Other buddies say they do fine and grow even when money hard to get. In June 2008, Wall Street Journal look at this. They say many Cold Stone franchises close or for sale, and buddies lose money because of investment. Some say Cold Stone lie about store money and hurt profits. Company lady say number of stores for sale normal for hard times. In December 2010, lawyers say Cold Stone mad about CNBC documentary. They talk about ups and downs of franchising. Cold Stone's big bosses talking show. Lawsuit talk happen with ex-franchises. Success Cold Stone franchise also show, but other parts cut because of lawsuit threats. Petrie say safety not always good. In 2015, FDA warned about cake batter ice cream with sickness in states. Cold Stone say they take out all cake batter ice cream. Before that, in 2005, health people say salmonella cases from Cold Stone stores. 4 sick people all eat cake batter before sick. After check, 25 cases in 9 states find from Cold Stone. In 2023, Oregon worker lose 3 fingers in ice cream machine accident. Workers quit after that. In 2007, too, another worker lose finger with towel and ice cream machine.
Ouch! Talk about a painful incident! And did you know? Thulium Koopa and Magnesium Koopa just love ice cream pies. But guess what? Cold Stone Creamery isn't just any old ice cream spot. Founded way back in 1988 in Tempe, Arizona, by the awesome duo of Donald and Susan Sutherland, they're serving up a frozen paradise. Ice cream cakes, pies, and even frosty sorbets. They've got it all. And their big slogan, the ultimate ice cream experience. Talk about sweet. Plus, they've had fun taglines like the sweetness of everyday life.
Me don't think Magnesium Koopa. Still brave, Magnesium not beat both fears, but Thulium Koopa do that back in 2011. Hey, King and Swiper, what's your favorite slogan from Cold Stone Creamery?
Glad you asked. Cold Stone Creamery, like Baskin-Robbins and Dairy Queen, have slogans. Cold Stone Creamery has used a few defining slogans and mottos since opening its first store in Tempe, Arizona in 1988, focusing on experiential and interactive ice cream making. Our favorite slogan from Cold Stone Creamery is, "Ice cream the way you like it."
Cold Stone Creamery is an American ice cream parlor chain headquartered in Scottsdale, Arizona, and owned by Kahala Brands. Alongside its signature customized ice cream creations, the chain's menu features expanded treats, including ice cream cakes, signature ice cream pies, smoothies, and shakes.
Petri say Cold Stone Creamery have more than 1,500 places all around world, with about 300 shops in 20 to 29 other countries, not just United States.
Its parent company was Kahala Brands, with its partnerships with an ice cream parlor restaurant chain with stores in Bahrain, Canada, partnership with Burger King, Tim Hortons from 2008 to 2014 now terminated, China, Denmark, Egypt, India, Indonesia, Japan, Kuwait, Mexico, Nigeria, Oman, Qatar, South Korea, Taiwan, United Arab Emirates, United States, Philippines, Kenya, Bangladesh, Pakistan, Finland, Jordan, Norway, Saudi Arabia, Sweden, Vietnam, Singapore, and Lebanon. Bugs Bunny, what's up?
Hey, what's up, Doc? Just hopping by. I hear that today marks 31 years of Mortal Kombat. What's this about?
Oh, let me tell you about this exhilarating movie. It's all about three Earth heroes. That wise monk Liu Kang, the flashy actor Johnny Cage, and the tough-as-nails soldier Sonya Blade. They embark on an epic adventure to win an ancient tournament on a mysterious island. Why, you ask? To stop that scheming sorcerer Shang Tsung from taking over the Earth realm. Talk about high stakes. It's a wild race against time and evil. Hi, Daffy Duck.
Well, hello there. What's quacking?
Today is 31 years of the 1995 film Mortal Kombat.
And to celebrate the 31st anniversary of the film Mortal Kombat, we are going to watch that film.
Mortal Kombat? Oh, I like New Line Cinemas. Can we please watch that?
Of course you can!
All right, Tom, Jerry, and Scooby would like to see it as well.
Roro! It's Scooby-Doo! We're here to watch Mortal Kombat for its 31st anniversary.
Oh my gosh! Scooby, you're a talking dog. Maxie Koopa is all about dogs. I mean, who wouldn't love a canine buddy who can chat?
Yes, I am. Let's watch the 1995 film Mortal Kombat together. Get ready for some action-packed fights and classic one-liners.